10 Senate Democrats want a fourth stimulus check, and if that happens, you wouldn't see that money until October. Now, this group also wants to keep extending unemployment insurance. The latest extension expires September 6th. No word yet on how much the checks would be or the eligibility requirements. Political watchers do predict, though, that the next relief package could carry an even bigger price tag.
Today, 20 million of them by direct deposit, 17 million more via the U.S. Postal Service. If you don't get your payment by direct deposit today, then it's coming in the mail. Those items being sent through the mail could either be government debit cards.
Now you guys may qualify and be eligible to receive $1,400 in stimulus money. If you missed out on receiving a stimulus check, don't even worry about it. The IRS has actually confirmed that you may be eligible to receive additional stimulus money by the end of the year. Data shows that almost anyone can qualify for the stimulus check, so be sure to continue watching to get the most up-to-date information on this. The IRS said it is no longer deploying a $1,400 third stimulus payment because that was from a long time ago. But the fourth stimulus check for 2022 December and 2023 next year is actually on the table. There may be funds eligible for those checks. A Treasury Department report found that as of the middle of December, about 650,000 people haven't even received the stimulus money yet. Many of these people may have since received the money from the third bill, but it is unclear how many payments are still outstanding. The IRS recently released updated information on the recovery rate credit, and for people to file for this in order to recap any of the money that they missed from the first, second, and third stimulus bill. But everybody wants to know, when is the fourth stimulus bill going to be approved? Well, under the terms, individuals could receive checks up to $1,400. Couples who filed jointly can also get up to $2,800. Additionally, eligible dependents could be up to $1,400 as well. To qualify, you have to be a U.S. citizen or resident alien in 2021. You also have to have a valid Social Security number, and though there are certain exceptions for spouse or dependents, you also could not have been claimed by someone else on the 2020 tax return. To be eligible for a full payment, your adjusted gross income cannot be above certain income thresholds as well. That's $75,000 if you file jointly, and double that when you file with your spouse. There may be more people who are eligible for the full $1,400, but the parents who added a child to their family in 2021, like for instance, are eligible for this. Additionally, families who added a dependent to their family in 2021, like a grandchild or even a parent, niece, or nephew, may be eligible for $1,400 as well. But people whose incomes have fallen may now be eligible for the money if their 2021 adjusted gross incomes are below the thresholds for full payments. If their incomes are in the phase-out thresholds, they could be eligible for partial payments. People who just don't file tax returns have not even done so yet, and now Nancy Pelosi announced that she would not seek another term as the House Democrats' leader. The current House Speaker was the first woman elected to the role in 2007. Pelosi is now holding and representing California's 12th district. She has done this for 19 years, and now during his time as Speaker, she focused on reforming healthcare. And under Obama, she created the Affordable Care Act and provided the Affordable Care Act healthcare to more Americans. But during the crisis, Pelosi negotiated with stimulus bills, helped with small businesses, and helped with many families. But House Democrats appear likely to choose another New York representative. But after her speech, Pelosi wouldn't tell reporters who she would support. And the Majority Leader Steny Hoyer and even Chuck Schumer are questioning Nancy Pelosi now.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the gentleman for yielding. I thank him for his leadership as chair of the Veteran Affairs Committee, and thank the bipartisan support that the bill is receiving here. Madam Speaker, I rise today in strong support and a landmark honoring our PACT Act. As you know, PACT stands for Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxics Act, now named after Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson, and I'll talk about him in a moment. This bipartisan legislation honors our duty to deliver health care that millions of veterans need and that they have certainly earned. This is the second time the House has voted on this important bill, and we are proud that after the Senate passes this version, we will finally send it to the President to be signed into law. For their relentless leadership on this legislation, let me salute Chairman Mark Takano for his ranking member as well, who've made addressing toxic exposure a top priority in this Congress. Thank you, Mr. Takano. Congressman Raul Ruiz, whose experience as a physician and formed a key provision of this bill establishing presumption of exposure, and Congresswoman Elaine Luria, a Navy veteran who authored a provision expanding health benefits to veterans exposed to burn pits. Also included in this legislation, and I'm so pleased about it, is legislation by Congressman Matt Cartwright, author of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act, to allow veterans or their loved ones to seek damages related to injuries incurred while serving at Camp Lejeune. We had many people come from the area. The legislators from North Carolina have certainly, David Price and others, have been relentless in their pursuit of this legislation. Families would come here and tell their stories of their loved one's service at Camp Lejeune, where the water supply was causing health.
Your plan was to build this economy around you, from the middle up and the bottom down, the bottom up. I'm so sick and tired of trickle-down economics. It only trickles to a few people. When the middle class does well, the poor have a way up, and the wealthy do just fine. As I said, Wall Street didn't build this country. The middle class did, and unions built the middle class, not labor, unions.
With higher food transportation costs increasing the price of food and other goods, state leaders hope to reach an agreement soon and get funds out the door to residents this year. The plan Newsom proposed last month will give at least one $400 refund to each registered vehicle owner in the state, regardless of your income. Refunds would be capped at $800 for anyone with more than one vehicle registered under their name. Now, Newsom's office released proposed legislative language last week on a package of fuel price relief bills. That includes $750 million in grants to public transit agencies to offer free fares for 3 months, an elimination of the sales tax on diesel fuel for a year, and pausing an increase in the excise tax on fuel, which is scheduled to take place in July. California is among several states considering tax relief, as gas prices and inflation drive up the cost of living. Lawmakers in New Mexico approved income tax rebate of $500 for joint households with annual incomes under $150,000. Folks, that's all the news about the fourth stimulus check that I want you to know. I hope you found this video useful and helpful. Yes, it is finally happening. Congress is passing a new stimulus bill very soon. Joe Manchin is now meeting with Republican lawmakers to gain their support on President Biden's spending bill. Now, many people will be receiving an $800 stimulus check very soon, so you want to continue watching this video to never miss out on the very important stimulus check information, and we have a ton of good news to cover. So the majority of people in Colorado are eligible to receive $400 to $800 stimulus checks from the state government due to the Taxpayer Bill of Rights passed in 1992. Most full-time residents have already taken